Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be on the dyno tuning an Audi RS6 with hybrid turbos. Exciting stuff.
Right then, so here we go. So because this car has no kind of fuel changes at all, apart from the gas side, but that already runs, so we kind of don't have to do a lot just to get the car running. It's pretty much just turbo changes, intercooler, just things like that, just bolt on stuff. So it's going to check the codes. That's always a good start. We've got no fault codes. No point in logging the car just yet. What I am going to do is just read off the ECU itself, and for that I'm going to be using the old trusty MPPS. Where are you? MPPS. So let's get that plugged in. This is like probably one of the oldest flash tools. Well, I wouldn't say the oldest flash tools, but she's old and she is so good at just doing what you want it to do. So we've got an Audi. So as you can see, it's quite a simple system. You just literally, well, definitely don't want a Bentley. You just pretty much click what you want. So Audi, got RS6, and it's a 4.2 Med 7. That's going to run an ID on that, and we're in. So what I'm going to do, I was going to give it a read. So key off, ignition 1, lights off, save all your power in your car. So read the ECU. So I'm not sure if I've even got anything to kind of like start the tune on this one. So I'm just going to stop you there, and then we'll continue once this is read off, because there's no point me sitting here with this. Right, so that's finished reading. So got the RS6 and I've already got it open. So I've got this software before, but I didn't really do a lot with it. So I've got like some maps defined, some not. I don't think I'm going to have enough to kind of complete the task that I want to complete, but I've got enough to get going to start with. So because it's had a turbo swap, what I want to be doing is capping the wastegate tables. It should be around here. Here we go. Capping these wastegate tables. Yep. So that we can kind of start chipping away at it. Now, first problem I've got is I haven't got enough of a map pack to have everything available, and I don't think there's one. Well, I will check that. I don't think there's one on the old Stage X, either, being an older ME7. It's kind of like the problem you're going to first face with the old stuff, just having enough to start with. So what I've kind of built these enough just to be able to start with them. So if we cap the whole wastegate table to around 20%, I just want to see what boost it's doing. And because this is the PID system still switched on, I'm also going to have to do this one too. So I'm just going to set this one to 22. Always leave myself a bit of headroom, but not a lot. Get rid of all this. I don't want it to be raised in areas and not in others. Cool. And then what I'm going to do with that is export it, but I need to do the checksum because the tool I'm using doesn't do the checksum. Luckily enough, I've got the actual checksum on WinOLS, so that'll do it for me. So search, yep. So when I export, I want it to do the checksum as well. So we're going to call this RS6 new turbos, 20% duty. This will just give me a good idea of what the car is actually doing. So I'm going to save that there. I'll flip back over to MPPS. And I'm going to flash that on. So I'll probably stop it again while I flash it. The read took about 10 minutes, so I'm not sure how long the actual flash is going to take. So I'm just going to flash this on. Do you want to check some? Oh, it does do check some. Continue writing this file. Yep. So that's on. So while this flashes, I'm just going to pause, and then we can carry on. Just a quick one, because I know it'll get mentioned in the video, because you know what you lot are like. So I'm at 11.48 volts. That's a bit low to be flashing the car. I'm on the dyno, so I'm not actually that bothered. And my battery pack is currently hooked up to one of Matt's cars, so that doesn't really help. So I'm just going to flash it anyway. The benefit of this is I'm on an old ECU, so it's ME 7.1.1, which are dead easy to get out of this car as well. So if it fails to flash, I'll just boot it. Like I've got the, when you OBD read these, you get the full read anyway. So it's just a case of writing that read back on again, and away you go. So I ain't too fussed. So we're all flash for the first time. Do you want to flash 0 the flash counters? We'll do that at the end. Well, to be fair, it doesn't really matter anymore. So no, switch off the key, give the ECU a reset. Right, done. Now obviously make sure it starts. Woo! So we're all started. We're on low boost, hopefully. So what I'm going to do is just go jump out, turn the fan on, or boot up the dyno and start. So I'm all just getting set up now. So let's get VADCOM set up. I've just set the dyno up, fans on, as you can probably hear. So because this is an older generation ECU, you do have advanced measurements, but it's really slow. So just for this base run, what I'm going to do is just measure a few things. So we've got obviously RPM, coolant temp, make sure it's up to temp. Lambda control, I want to make sure that the lambdas are doing something, that the trims are being set, because this is like the short-term fuel trims. I've got ignition retard, I'm not going to need that just yet, so I might go 3, yeah. So I've got MAF, throttle valve, ignition, and then we've got intake air temp. It's actually quite cold on the dyno, so 39 isn't great to begin with. And then we've got wastegate duty cycle and boost pressure actual. Now I should be seeing here, still nothing. I should be seeing 20% here when we do the run, which is what I'm kind of hoping for. So I want to know what boost we're doing at 20% duty cycle, so we can start building the tune to kind of understand it. So at the minute, I'm on stock timing. I have requested a slightly richer fuel just to make sure it's safe, but I want to make sure that it's doing that. And then I want to know what the wastegate is doing with the boost. So at the minute, we still have no fuel trims. Just going to give it a roll so we get it warmed up. They should kick in. Let's have a look at the fuel. So it's narrowband sensors because they run off volt and not AFR. So okay. It's got old system. And then we've got 118 and 1. Waiting for these to kick in. They are moving, so they are working. It's just waiting for the actual fuel trims to kick in. Now we are running on a low burst tune, so it shouldn't be too bad. So log, set this to Audi RS6. Low boost, run 1. Hit start. So it's going to get it warm. I've got lambda on, so I'm not too bothered, and we should have plenty of fuel for the low boost. It's just nice to know what them trims are doing. Car's a bit rocky, so I'm going to run it in 4th gear. This is a 5 gear car. It has to be just over 2k to switch to 4. There we go. It's going to get a run. Boost was a little bit wavy. It's getting a bit warm. And we've still got no lambda trims. Still nothing on the 2 banks. Not sure what's going on there, but that's okay this time. The boost was quite high for the low duty, so they're not stock actuators, and the graph's a bit weird. Because obviously I saw that boost spike, then it come back off, then it went back on again. We're currently at 537 brake. Oh, there. 537 brake, 781 newton meters, but obviously we've got this horrible, nasty jump here. So what I'm going to do is going to stop that, done close. I'm just going to have a look at those logs to see if we can sort out that lump before we do much else. Get rid of that. So, log view, file, open log file, and that will be on C drive. So obviously it's in the Rostec folder. Rostec, VCDS, logs, Audi RS6 low boost. Well, we say low boost. So that was the actual run. Mass airflow is quite high. Throttle angle, so it shut the throttle, which is what that dip is. I guess it was due to big wastegates. So boost pressure actual, yeah, dipping in the middle because it's doing too much boost. And then you got the N75, which is trying to control it. Now we only set them to 20%, and then it can use so much just to maintain that boost. But I don't like the way it is at the minute. But we left it the actual request dock, so I think I'm going to try and get it to a nicer level on the actual boost. So I'm going to drop the boost even more than a wastegate. I'm going to drop the request too, because obviously it's still trying to do 1.3 bar. Lambda control I've got none still, so we're going to look into that as well. So first of all, let's sort this boost out. So we're at 20%, I want less. I'm going to drop this to 10. And I'll drop this to just above. So gonna go there, there. They're all low anyway. Go 11. Have I ever found could do with the code work for torque? Lambda. So what code words we've got? So if I've got the actual switching off for the torque, it doesn't look like it is found. Fuel adaptation, tuning protection. Nope. That's okay. I'll probably find that. So I consider this being more than a one-part video. This is okay. It kind of gives you something to watch. So what I want to see is if I have got the, should be round about here, this will be a jump, and we should come into it here. Nope. So now I thought that it will be that. So what I'm after is switching off. So I'll just run testing gate. I'm going to test it. Switch back to 16-bit. Because you get 16-bit and 8-bit in the same map. It's obviously made it a little bit bigger now. So what I need to find now is the map for things like that. Boost control. So what I can really do with is finding a full demos for this one. So I've got everything available. We kind of are where we are at the minute. 6x4. Could be that. Test it. Got a good chance. We're looking for one of two switches. It looks like that might be a bigger map than what it says it is. Oh no. I'm looking for either the switch to switch it to a manual boost control, or so we can completely switch that off, or I'm looking for TBLL DMX to, which will be here somewhere, to completely switch off the actual duty at a certain level. So we're running at 180 load. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to set that down to something like 150. So I don't want it kicking in and trying to make more boost than what we are. I'll set these lower then, just so it doesn't even spool. So if I go 6 and 5, and if it runs 0, then I'm in that other map. No, I want hardly any wastegate at all, just to see if I can get it. Because if you can get control of the boost and get it to stop shutting the throttle, then you've got a good base to work off. So 5% duty with a test. We'll see if that is the lambda, see if that is the control maps that I'm after. If not, I'll have to go away and find a map pack for it. So this is kind of like the problem with tuning. Unless you kind of have everything for every single car that you're ever going to sit in, you kind of like putting the map together as you go. So you're kind of tuning and building the map at the same time. Now it would be interesting actually to see if, I'm not sure if they will have, let's see if Stage X have actually got anything for these. I don't think they do. So we'll check. It's obviously Power Division. Nope. So we're on our own. That's okay. So I'm going to get this flashed on. I'll switch to MPPS. I'm going to get this flashed on and then we'll give it another run and see where we are this time. Alright, so that's flash and we're all set up. So two things I want to do. I've changed my logging blocks to 115 because I want to see what the specified and actual is. Because if the actual goes over the specified, it's going to shut the throttle, and we seem to have quite heavy wastegates on. So I'm just going to give it a run, but I'm expecting that the actual is going to go above the specified, and we're going to get throttle shut anyway. So let's just give it a run. Still got no trims, and I'm going to get a little bit more from the actual logs itself, if it lets me. Yeah, so we've got a bit more logs, so we're going a bit faster on the logs. So, Audi RS6, run 2. So I just want to know if that actual is getting above the specified, which I think it probably is, because we want to get control of it so we can actually tell the ECU what boost we want, rather than the ECU doing what it wants. Well, hardware doing what it wants. So let's get up to the 4th gear. So actual and specified is what I'm watching. So yeah, straight above. So now the ECU is going to pull the throttle. hoping it's gone too far over. And it's still going to be over, it's still going to shut that throttle. So no point in finishing that run. What I'm going to do, I'm going to raise the boost way above so we can do a clean pull and try and get control of that wastegate and throttle. I want the throttle to be 100% and I want the wastegate to actually have control over the boost rather than the boost doing what it wants. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to set the filling. We're doing about 1.3 bar. So I'm going to want at least 230 on here. And the boost comes in around 3k. So if we go to 40, bring in to smooth that out. I'm going to do the same on the lock-in. I always drop this down a little bit once we've finished, but I'm still at low boost, I'm not too bothered. And we also need to make sure that Kafmal has got enough on there, otherwise it's still going to shut the throttle. So yeah, we're at 2. I'm going to just raise that to 250. Just blend that in a little bit. I'm probably going to find application mode so we can set all this up properly. But for now, I mean, even that's like sky high. I wouldn't normally do that, but we're just kind of like getting the grasp of the tune at the minute, so I'm not too bothered about all the other stuff. I'll leave that. So I'm just going to flash this on. So correct checksums. Yep. So I'm going to leave the wastegate where it is. We want control of the boost via the wastegate without the wastegate dictating to us. Well, without the boost dictating to us what it's going to do. So that's kind of where I want to be. And then we can end the session and I can go and find the rest of the map so we can set this car up as best as we possibly can. So I'm just going to flash this on, back in 2 seconds. Right, so we've had a bit of a development. So I've managed to find a Deimos for an RS6. So we've got all the maps, and I've managed to find the map I was after and build it out. So we're now able to switch off the actual wastegate at last. So thankfully I've now got an actual Deimos to use, and the actual map I was looking for was here, and the switch was just off where I was. But I was right smack bang next to it. So I was going to test this. So it should run absolutely no duty now, and shouldn't shut the throttle. So we should be able to start messing with the boost and start getting somewhere. So let's flash this on, and then we'll come back. Let's go. Right, here we go. Oops, let me let it power down. Well, that's never good. So, it's bricked on me. So, I'm going to have to put the ECU out and get it back running again. Great.
Here we are. So luckily, the ECUs are just, well, the ECU is just in this box here. And there's a bolt at the back, but it's already missing. So, it's quite an easy one to get out. Now, this stuff can happen to anybody. So, you've got to always bear that in mind when you're getting your car tuned, that things can go wrong when flashing ECUs. So I'm going to whip that out. I'll show you what I do on bench. So you just take these few bolts off with a T15.
done.
Right, so result. So I'm using Kess V3, a creative OBD wire, the Flex Bench Mini, which is from Mag Pro. This is great, and I'm connected by a boot to the one wire. So that's basically like a nerve. So it puts the circuit into boot mode, and then I'm just connected to the wires as per that, and we've got a connection. So all I've pretty much got to do now is I can read the backup, because I'm on the bench. You can clone this ECU anyway, so I can read the backup. But all I want to be writing to is the maps, and I've already got that already, so I could just flash that straight on, which is probably what I'm going to do. But normally, if you're like working with these ECUs and things like that, you want to be reading the backup just to build it back together. But because I know that this is pretty much just a straightforward flash, I'm just going to smash that map straight in. So right, yeah. So I'll go back to the one. See, that one should be okay, but I don't want to take it back out again. I'm just going to smash that one on anyway. Yeah. Select original. I've got the original. I've already exported the original. So it's that one. Send that in. So I'll do a checksum. And that will send that onto the ECU. So once done, put it back in the car and we'll see if it starts. Right, so we're all back together now. Obviously the ECU's back in there. It's time to see if this bad boy starts. And there we go. Back alive again.
So guys, obviously fixed that. I ran out of time the other day just to see kind of where I was after I'd fixed it. We can only run so late on this dyno. So all I want to do with this car now is kind of run it and just be happy with where we are so I can continue to tune it. Because the wastegates are really sensitive. So I don't really want to continue tuning if there's something I need to do with the wastegate. So what I've done, I've set the map to zero duty, so I've switched the switch to zero, so I don't want to see any kind of intervention from the ECU with adding boost, just to see what it runs now. So I'll give it a run, and hopefully we should have some sort of control. I'm kind of guessing it's going to shut off at top RPM, because I'm asking for a load of load, but I'm not going to get it. So, but apart from that, we should be in a good position to finish this session and move over to the actual tuning, because first thing you got to do is get control of it, and then the tuning all becomes quite easy. So give it a run, fourth gear, see where we are. So at zero wastegate, and that seems to be okay now. We do drop off a bit at the top, which I kind of thought it would, but we should be in a good position now to tune it. So that should be the end of this session. The next session on this RS6, we will be tuning this car and seeing where we can get with it. But at the moment, I'm quite happy with where we are, because the hardest part of tuning most cars when you're doing hybrids and things like that is getting the control. So at 537 brake, it's 178 Newton meters, which is pretty good for where we are. So we've gained control, we've got a base. I'm going to run a external wideband lambda, because I want to be able to have a better insight into the fuel in. But apart from that, I'm happy. So thanks for following. Like and subscribe if you can. It really helps the algorithm, gets us moving. So that is RS6 day 1. See you in day 2.